Huge cuts are in store for this year's federal budget, and financial aid for college students may be on the chopping block.
Our Jasmine Spencer takes a look into the proposed budget and what it could mean for Elon students. Jasmine, what are these proposed cuts?
Well, Sophie, the education budget proposal is said to cost $37 trillion in funding for the 2012 year. Though there will be an increase in elementary school programs such as Race to the Top, the controversy is in Pell Grant cuts for college students. If it does happen, low-income families would be at risk where they wouldn't be able to afford college otherwise.
What used to be a modest farmhouse near campus is now an office that helps students pay for college.
Through the admissions office.
Good morning, financial planning.
Students like Jerry Staples rely on financial planning services for assistance with tuition payments and federal aid.
I'm the first person in my family to go to college.
As a first-generation college student, Staples has been able to afford Elon and study abroad in Ghana through the Watson Scholarship Program. Staples also receives Pell loans and grants.
I actually just started getting them my last 2 years because my mother lost her job.
9 billion students rely on the Pell Grant each year to go to college, including 10% of Elon's student body.
They are from your poor areas, they are from your low middle to low economic status.
There could, however, be less Pell Grants available to students if Congress approves the 2012 education budget proposal. The budget's, quote, tough choice includes a $2 billion decrease overall. Director of Financial Planning Patrick Murphy is in charge of the aid budget distribution for Elon students.
My best guess is that if they were to reduce the Pell by $845, we would probably see approximately $250,000 less come in.
If the proposal does pass, students will have to rely less on their financial planning offices and more on outside sources of scholarships and grants found on websites like fastweb.com. Murphy says that students who are at risk of losing some aid should begin looking to other sources of assistance.
I would encourage them to get politically active and contact their representatives and just let them know how important these grants are to them.
For now, Staples is relying on financial assistance for his graduate studies at UNCG. And if that doesn't work,
Plan B is FAFSA.
As normal, like they always have, without the proposal in consideration. But if the cut does pass, Elon's diversity could be affected, as majority of Pell Grant recipients are minority students. Live in Corey Business Center, I'm Jasmine Spencer, Phoenix 14 News Tonight.
This year, national university endowments were at their lowest point since the Great Depression, but Elon's went up. In December 2009, the endowment was $33 million. Now it's more than tripled to $115 million. And a large proportion of the endowment will go toward the Elon commitment to continue increasing endowment. Senior Vice President of Finance Gerald Whittington told us that the endowment will also go towards student scholarships.
Meal plans are changing again. Aramark will introduce the All Access and Block plan for the fall. The All Access meal plan will allow students to eat at dining halls as much as they want. The Access plans do include guest and combo meal plans for places like Acorn and Octagon. Instead of a weekly meal allowance, all swipes will be available at the beginning of the semester. Aramark District Manager Chuck Gazda told Phoenix 14 they will release a statement about the new plan tomorrow. Check out our website at phoenix14news.wordpress.com for a list of all the new meal plans.
Here's what's happening in the Crime Watch tonight. Vandalism all across campus. This week, the 20-mile-per-hour speed limit sign on Williamson by the train tracks was spray painted to read 189 miles per hour. Vandals also painted graffiti and profanity behind West along the walkway between McEwen and Whitley Auditorium and Mosley Center. Phoenix 14 News called campus security and chief Chuck Gantos was unavailable to discuss the incidents. The vandal is still unknown at this time.
One of the 3 students arrested during the drug bust last year is scheduled for court this week. Jordan McMahon was arrested back in February 2010 after selling drugs to a police informant. McMahon will be in court this week on charges of felony possession of marijuana, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver marijuana, maintaining a vehicle for a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia.
Marijuana soda, that's the newest drink product causing controversy. It's called Canicola. Each can has 35 to 65 milligrams of THC, the main active ingredient in marijuana. Diavolo Brands, the company marketing Canicola, describes the drink as a light beer with a mild marijuana taste. The soda pot is launching in Colorado this month and may be available in California this spring. No plans yet for the drug drink to come into our area.
Concerns are increasing in the NCAA about the effects of concussions on student athletes. Exercise science professor Kenneth Barnes says a new study at Elon will help determine whether or not athletes have had concussions, since symptoms can differ from person to person. Barnes and 4 other researchers received about $17,000 this month for the study. That money will fund equipment and create an opportunity for paid student researchers. The study is set to be released in the middle of next year.
It's the peak of flu season and students are doing what they can to fight the flu. Over-the-counter medicine isn't the only option to battle flu symptoms. WebMD suggests some home remedies that can battle the aches and coughs. For general aches and congestions, take a warm shower and drink a lot of water. Hot chicken soup can help ease a sore throat, and so can garlic. According to WebMD, garlic can fight bacteria as well. Lastly, WebMD suggests that you stay in bed and rest to give your body time to heal. Check out Phoenix14News.wordpress.com for more flu home remedies.
With the heightened flu season, Alamance Regional Medical Center announced a new visitation policy. According to their website, staff will monitor the main entrances to ensure those under 18 and those with flu-like symptoms do not visit. Visitors are also required to use hand sanitizer to prevent the spread of flu in the hospital. There are exceptions to the rule. Those under 18 with terminally ill family are allowed to visit, and children are also allowed to go with their parents to the emergency room.
Coming up on Phoenix 14 News tonight.
Highs in the 70s in February. Find out if this beautiful weather is here to stay after the break.
From New York to Germany, the United States Stock Exchange is stretching overseas. Find out what this could mean for us coming up.
The men's basketball team had their senior night on Saturday. See if Elon could get a win over UNC Greensboro later in sports.
The New York Stock Exchange could be expanding all the way to Frankfurt, Germany. Crystal Moyer has the news on the merge that will globalize the U.S. Stock Exchange.
The New York Stock Exchange could go German. If stockholders approve the deal, Deutsche Börse will merge with the NYSE to become the largest stock exchange in the world.
Like now that all the investors they have access to investing in a lot more companies that were only on one exchange before. So I think it's a pretty good thing.
The NYSE has been American-owned for 200 years, and shareholders are hoping the foreign merge will have equal ownership. But the merge is anything but equal. Deutsche Börse's shareholders will have 60% of the ownership and will have 10 seats on the board, while the New York Stock Exchange will have 40% and 7 seats on the board. And Elon students approved the deal.
It's a good idea to continue this move towards more international, since everything is becoming so much on a more international basis. We don't want to be stuck in the antiquated days of everyone dealing with papers.
The merged company won't have any major effects on shareholders, but its focus is to use technology in their daily trading.
10 years ago, the New York Stock Exchange had 3,000 people on the floor waving papers in the air, and now everything's all electronic, and there's a fourth of the people on the floor than there was 10 years ago, and it might change the feel of Wall Street a little bit now that has a huge international player at the center of Wall Street.
Crystal Moyer, Phoenix 14 News, tonight.
Deutsche Börse and the New York Stock Exchange haven't come up with a joint name for the future merged company yet. NYSE CEO Duncan Niederauer said that the new name is still being decided and will be announced in a few months.
The warm, sunny weather is welcome, but the lack of rain is causing some problems. According to the U.S. Drought Monitor, Alamance County is in a severe drought. The dry air, high winds, and low humidity also mean increased fire danger. The National Weather Service says to avoid burning anything and make sure you extinguish anything that's burning, like a cigarette.
Some much-needed rain could be coming this week. Grace Sweeney joins us to take a look at this week's weather. Grace, should we put our winter coats away?
Well, Ben, for now, you don't have to have a winter coat, especially because today was 75 degrees and sunny. And tonight will be a little cooler, 49 degrees. And tomorrow will be a little bit cooler as well, high of 63 degrees, but still partly sunny, so that'll be a great time. And let's take a look at our national map. And you can see there are several fronts, but they actually won't be affecting our area. We're just experiencing a little bit of cloud coverage. If we look at the Carolina map, we can see this a little bit clearer. And there is some cloud coverage in our area. However, it's not going to cause any precipitation. If we look at the front, for the current surface map, we will go through a little bit of a front which will cause the cooling tomorrow and for the next several days. So it won't be in the 70s. We'll still be highs of 50s and 60s. Tomorrow's current surface map, the front will go through, so that means we'll be a little bit cooler. Now let's look at our highlights. And it will be slightly cooler this week. As Sophie mentioned before, there is a fire warning, which means that you should be really cautious about any fires that you put in, and especially when you extinguish them. And there will be a little bit of rain later this week. Finally, let's look at our 5-day forecast. It'll be pretty nice, sunny or partly sunny for most of the week. A chance of rain on Friday and ending the week with high of 50 degrees on Saturday. Ben?